What's good, everybody? It's John. Come back at you another video. So with this video, I wanted to talk about the concept of karma, right? And the truth about karma. So you may have, I'm sure everyone here has heard of karma and what that is. It's basically, you've heard it all throughout your life. You may have read it or come across it through religious texts, right? Scripture. And this is pretty much consistent across virtually all religions. They talk about karma, and it's also other terms that are used to describe this, right? You may hear cause and effect, right? You may hear that you reap what you sow. These all mean the same thing. They all tie to karma. Basically, what you put out is what you get back in return. And the truth about it is that it is in fact true. It's a real thing. And oftentimes people don't operate with understanding this, right? For example, and let me explain this, right? Why this exists, right? First and foremost. So it exists because basically at the atomic level, at the particle level, right? Everything on this planet, including yourself, everything that you can see and touch, everything that you're aware of in your existence, right? Everything is made up of the same thing, which is energy, right? Everything is made up of energy. You yourself are made up of energy, right? The trees outside made up of energy, right? Like the concrete that, created the building that you might be in, or the wood in your house, or I don't know, a water bottle or a television, right? All of it doesn't matter what the object is. Does anything you can see or experience in your reality is made up of energy. Everything, absolutely everything. So we are all the same, right? In essence, we are all the same. And so that is why we are also all connected, right? It seems like everything is a separate entity because, of course, all of the objects are spaced out and people are all living their own lives, things like that, etc., right? So everything does seem to be separated, but in fact, everything is connected because everything is energy, everything is one, right? So the whole world is interconnected with one another. And that's why karma is a real thing, because what you put out is what you get in return. The energy that you put out is what will then be attracted to you, is what will then make its way back to you. And so what people don't realize is, if, for example, right, if someone wishes ill will onto someone else, you're not wishing, you may feel as though you're wishing it to that person, but you're in effect wishing it to yourself, because oftentimes when people wish ill will to someone, for example, right, they think the thoughts of ill will, and so they're vibrating the energy of ill will. So you may be projecting it out to someone, but in order for you to say it, right, you need to have thought of that, right? You needed to have that thought in your mind. So the fact that that thought was in your mind of ill will, and then you also said it, you're also, that negative energy you're projecting out is what's being attracted to you, because that is what you've been vibrating. That's what you had to vibrate in order to project that energy, right? So that is just one example, right? And some people may be thinking, oh, well, that may not be true, etc., etc. Well, if someone were, as an experiment, I'm not suggesting or recommending that you do this, right? But if someone were to go into public and flip people off with the middle finger, right, they're likely not going to get good responses, right? Like, that is karma and cause and effect right there, right? If you were to do that to other people, people will take offense to that and will probably want to hurt you, right? So that is just one example of how karma is a real thing, right? Like that, you can't debate that. And it's the same with, on the opposite side of the spectrum, right, with positivity. If you send good energy, send prayer, send good wishes to other people, then you are in fact wishing that upon yourself, right? If you're sending blessings to other people, and you know, looking at the good things in other people and looking at the great qualities in other people, then you're effectively doing the same for yourself, right? If you are vibrating happiness and joy, then that is what you'll attract to yourself, because that's the energy that you're putting out. And once again, in this lifetime, everything is connected, everything operates by energy. So you're feeling good putting out that positive energy, then that energy will also make its way back to you, right? And it happens all the time, right? It's like if you do good by other people, then other people will do good by you, right? How many times have we experienced going out to eating at a restaurant, and you order a dish and it ends up being one of the most amazing dishes you've ever had? Of course, like, you're gonna be excited, you're gonna be smiling, you're gonna be feeling so good. And in a case like that, you're going to be more inclined to leave. If it's like a sit down restaurant, right, here in the United States, right, tipping is normal, right? You're going to be more inclined to leave a bigger tip, whether that's, if you normally leave a 15% tip, you might want to leave an 18% tip or 20% tip if you felt that the service was amazing and the food quality was amazing, right? So those were, if you were eating at a restaurant, right, those are people that went above and beyond, that provided you with an exceptional level of service and exceptional food. And so you want to reward that, right? So that's what that is, right? It's like, if you try to do good by other people, you will in fact be rewarded by those other people as well, right? Like, you're that goodness, that service, that positivity that you put out, it'll make its way back to you. And that's the thing, you may not know how, right? And it may not happen with that person, right? Because you can do good by someone, and it may not be that person that might return the favor back, right? It may be that they may randomly tell someone about their experience. Say, for example, you worked at a restaurant and you served a customer and they had such a great experience, and they of course left you a great tip. But it could very well be that that person remembered your face and your name, and so they had a conversation with someone else, and they told that person, hey, you got to check out this restaurant, there's this phenomenal server, they got great food, whatever. And then that new person may walk in and might ask for you, and then you may serve them and give them the same experience, and they may provide you with an opportunity, right? Like, you don't know how this all works, right? You don't know. There's so many instances in so many people's lives where they were just trying to do right by other people, and then somehow, some way, right, they magically stumbled across the right person, and they helped the right person that day, right? Like, you just don't know, right? So that's basically what I'm trying to get at. That karma, it's the reason why it's true that it exists, is because everything on this planet is all connected. And so if you do right by yourself and do right by other people, then that same energy is going to find its way back to you, right? So this is why when you do things in life, you want to do what's right. You want to put your best foot forward, and ideally you want to start helping other people and making other people's lives easier. You want to help spread the wealth, the internal wealth, and hopefully external wealth, right, for other people, because then that brings them happiness and joy, and that same energy will make its way back to you tenfold, right? And it's the same with monetary wealth, right? Like, for example, if we use an iPhone, right? Here I have an iPhone, right? We use an iPhone as an example. iPhone here costs like about $1,000, right? If you want to get a new iPhone. The reason why people are perfectly content with putting down that money for the iPhone is because they see the value in it. It's like, you can communicate with your friends and family or anyone in the world, like texting, calling, FaceTime, right? You have all these apps, like calculator apps, you have news apps, you have web browser, right? This is your iPhone is pretty much a mini computer, and it's portable. So you could take it wherever. You can gather pretty much any piece of information anywhere, right? You can entertain yourself with videos and games, like, and movies and show, right? Like, this device has pretty much everything, and it provides so much value to us that, right, it brings us so much value, so much joy, so much satisfaction, that we justify that putting down, the $1,000 to buy it, right? And so, for example, the Apple company, right, because they were able to deliver a product that significantly improved the quality of life in human beings, they were able to be compensated in return, right? So it's the same idea there. It's like, I am going to help make your life better. And so because of that, they were able to be rewarded significantly financially, right? That's why they're one of the largest companies in the world, because they deliver on value. And that's how you need to approach life as well, right? If you want to get further in life, right, continue providing value to other people, continue to spread positivity and good energy, because that is what people want to surround themselves with. People want to be around other people who are smiling, whose energy is infectious, because subconsciously that's what everyone wants, right? Everyone is always chasing happiness. That's what you need to understand. Everyone is always actively chasing happiness, because if you could be happy all the time, you would choose to be happy all the time above any other emotion, right? Because happiness is what brings us joy, is what makes this life fulfilling. So that is what we're all always after all the time. And so if you can be that, and if you can help deliver that happiness to other people, then that is what is going to find its way back to you tenfold, 100-fold, right? So that is the truth about karma. It exists because everything is energy, everything is interconnected, and you need to be aware of that, and you need to operate with that law in mind. So just make sure you show up with a smile, with positivity, being optimistic, right? Being eager, being excited, and trust me, the good things in your life will begin unfolding for you in ways that you possibly couldn't ever imagine. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. Leave a like and subscribe, as we are on the road to 100 subscribers, guys. So once again, this is Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.